Traders, welcome back to another video on some trading fundamentals. Today we've got a video on what I wish I knew when I started trading. Now when it comes to trading, we're all on a very unique and personal journey that is, as I say, completely unique to ourselves. It's unlike anybody else's, and it's very important that we set the foundations right for a profitable and consistent long-term trading career. Now, of course, when we trade, I've mentioned it before, we are always looking for long-term consistency and profitability. But what I mean to say is this: if you're able to educate yourself and have the right information, and have the right knowledge and the right perspective when we enter the markets, especially for the first time or when you start as a trader, you really will have a massive advantage compared to other traders in a similar position. What I mean to say is this: if you take the time to educate yourself, if you take the time to understand exactly the way you should be approaching the markets mentally, you are going to have a massive advantage. There's a reason why the majority of traders remain unprofitable, because they don't educate themselves and they don't approach the markets with the right headspace, in the right headspace and with the right mindset. It's very important to approach it with the right information. And from my experience as a trader, and from what I see from other traders, the information I'm going to give you today will give you a serious advantage in perspective and overall account performance when we trade the financial markets. So without further ado, I think that's enough said. Let's jump in to the presentation. So without further ado, what I wish I knew when I started trading. Let's get straight into this, guys. Nothing in the markets is guaranteed, no matter the strategy. Now this is really, really important. I actually want to break this down for you guys a little bit more. When we trade, we all have different strategies. Some of us scalp the markets. Some of us take longer term trades on the higher time frames. We all have different approaches to where we put our take profits and our stop losses. But what is for certain is there is no strategy that gives you a guaranteed result. There is uncertainty in the markets which stops us from knowing truly the outcome of our trade when we take it. Now, this uncertainty is nothing that we can account for, in the sense that not even the trading robots or anything automated can take account for. There is no strategy that will give you that 100% win rate every single time because of that uncertainty in the markets. But as long as we are taking the right precautions and protecting our trade from these things that we can't control, whether that's risk management, when we're taking the trade, perhaps we don't want to trade around news events or trade around election times, for example, that is the important thing. When we trade, we want to put things in our control, and we don't want to give that control to somebody else or something else. We want to put the odds in our favor. Now, what I mean by that is, if we can do something that would increase the chance of our trade being successful and doesn't give it up to chance from a news event or something similar, that is the way we want to trade. We want to trade these high probability setups. It's a game of probabilities. And if we are giving our control to something else willfully, then we are jeopardizing the trade. You can put all the analysis in that you want, but the point is this: if you are allowing things to take control away from you as a trader, then you're going to have some unfortunate results. You might have a fantastic setup, but because of uncertainty and because of things in the markets that we cannot predict, it makes our time more difficult as a trader. But as long as we're aware of that, that is the most important thing. In fact, we're going to jump over to the charts, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of things that nobody could predict and how it would have affected us if we took that trade. So let's jump into that right now. Now take a look at this, guys. We are on the cable, that is the pound-dollar exchange. This is, of course, the forex markets. And I want you to take a look at this area here. Now, for those of you who don't know, this was the Brexit referendum result. This is when the UK, as a country, as a democracy, decided to leave the European Union. Of course, we all know what happens next. It's been a long old process since then. But what I want you to understand is, look at what happened on that day. We're talking a sell-off from body to body of over almost 1,000 pips. This is what I mean, guys. This is the daily chart we're talking about. This is daily chart. So each candle, it means a lot of movement. My point is this: there is no way we can fully predict and guarantee ourselves the result of the Brexit referendum. And I think this market reaction was because nobody really expected the result to be a vote for leaving the European Union. And this is what happens to the pound as a result versus the dollar. If you are caught on the wrong side of this trade, that would have destroyed your account. And we cannot allow ourselves to put ourselves in that position. Sure, you can also say on the flip side that if you were shorting the market, you'd made a lot of money too. But we're just leaving it down to chance at the end of the day. And this sort of trading, you can only be right so many times. Nobody can predict these things 100 times over. And as I said before, if you are caught on the wrong side of a trade like this is going to devastate your account and it's going to wipe out a lot of progress for you. Because it was such a shock reaction, you saw what happened in the markets. This is such a textbook example of things that we can't control when we trade. If you were caught on the wrong side of this trade, you would have been a very, very unhappy trader. And that's what I mean to say. This was an unguaranteed circumstance, and this was something that was up to chance, and nobody could predict the result 100%. And when the votes came in, you saw what happened in the markets. And we need to eliminate these things when it comes to our trading and put the odds in our favour. Here we are, back again. Again, nothing is guaranteed in the markets, no matter the strategy. Remember that, traders. Next thing, losing is part of the game you play. No one is right every single time. Now, this is something actually for me that I needed to remember, and I wish I knew when I started this. If I want you to take away one thing today, this is the most important thing. At least it was to me, and I wish that I had known this at the start. Because I think from a very young age, we're told, don't lose your money, don't lose your friends, don't lose this. You don't lose anything. That's the whole point. You're told, and at least I certainly was told, growing up, that we're not supposed to lose anything. We're supposed to win all the time. And that's the approach that I took to the markets when I started. And unfortunately, that's not the way it works. It's just like any other sport. You can do things that are going to increase your chance of winning. And we're going to do that as traders. Of course we are. We want to win our trades. But we're never going to be in a position where we're winning 100% of the time. Because that is just not realistic. And it's, frankly, impossible because of the uncertainty that I just mentioned. Now, it's important to approach the markets with the right mindset. And losing is part of the game we play. But the important thing, and what gives you peace in your mind as a trader, is that you have a system that you have created which manages your losses stay as small as possible and your wins stay as large as possible. That is the key to being consistently profitable. I've seen traders with 40% win rates, 30% win rates for their trades, but they are massively successful and profitable in the long term on their account because they've mastered this and they understand that losing is part of the game you play. But if you're in a position and if you have a system that allows you to capitalize and to make the most out of your winning trades and nip your losing trades in the bud as soon as possible and not hang on to losers, then your win rate doesn't really matter in that sense. We want to increase our win rate, of course we do. Who wouldn't want to win more trades? But the important thing is managing our losses and managing our wins to best give us the account performance that we desire without taking this crazy approach that we need to win every single time or we're not going to be successful as a trader. Don't focus on how much you're winning. Focus on the account balance and the performance of your account, and focus on managing your wins and managing your losses properly. And the rest, I promise you, is going to fall into place. Now the final thing, I think we said this before, I think it's not just an opinion I have in the office, but it's the most personally rewarding and satisfying journey. Now, what I mean to say is this. When I started trading, however long ago it was now, many, many years ago, I was a very different person to the person I am today. That goes without saying. Trading, of course, is a means to making money and a means to an income for so many different people. And I think that's the primary motivation. It certainly was for me when I got into it. But what is different now is I look back, and if I had not made any money in the markets ever, this journey and this process would have been worth it 100 times over, because I've learned so many different things about myself. I've learned how to be patient. I've learned how to stay disciplined. And these are things that I can take in my life and apply to elsewhere to give me more success in other aspects of my life, whether it comes to business or managing relationships with other people or anything. The skills you learn as a trader are applicable to so many different areas of your life, and you will be amazed about the progress you can make in terms of self-development and bettering yourself as a person, while still understanding and making a skill and learning a skill and building yourself as a person and creating a source of income for yourself whilst bettering yourself as a person. I don't know what's not to like, guys. It is a fantastic opportunity, and if you can trade and you can approach it in the right way, in a way that's sustainable and focuses on the long term, you are set to be a better person and a more financially better person as well in that sense, because of the income that it gives you. What I mean to say is this: trading has changed me as a person. I look back on my time as trading very fondly, and I'm still in the process. We all are. Our journeys are very unique, but looking back now on my time as a trader, I've learned so many different things about myself, and I'm so grateful that I picked it up all those years ago. Now that was the information that I wish I knew when I started trading. Now I hope you can go away and apply that to your own trading, especially if you're a beginner. I've mentioned it before, but if you have the right foundations in your mind, as well as the information and knowledge to start a trading career, and if you take the time to educate yourself before you start, you are going to be in a much, much better position. Now I know this stuff from my own personal experience and what I see from other people, but set the foundations right, educate yourself, and I promise you, this will be the best journey you ever embark on. It is going to bring you so much joy in terms of self-development, and it might even bring you some financial betterment as well. So thank you for joining me again today. I hope you're enjoying this little series on trading fundamentals. We got more on the way, of course we do. I've got some more lifestyle stuff coming very soon. Stay posted. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. I think you guys know that by now. Drop me a comment down below, please. If you want to talk to me, if you want to get in touch, if you want to have any questions, if you have any comments on the video, please let me know what you would like to know when you have started trading, or what you thought is a good idea for other traders to know when they start trading now. Leave it all down below. Get in contact with me, ask me any questions. I'll be happy, more than happy to respond to you guys. But thank you for joining me again, and stay posted, guys.